Welcome to day 212 of 66 in 26, our journey to read through all 66 books of the Bible in 2026. In fact, we're going to finish off another book today, and that is the book of Kings. The book of 1st and 2nd Kings were originally one full book, and they've been divided into two, but we finish off Kings today with 2nd Kings 21 to 25. Over the course of these two books, 1st and 2nd Kings, we saw the last of the kings under a united kingdom of Israel, King Solomon, and then the division that took place after Solomon, and then two kingdoms, Israel in the north, Judah in the south, running all the way through the rest of 1st Kings and 2nd Kings until the fall of Judah in 586 BC. At this point, when we're in 2 Kings 21 to 25, we already saw the fall of the northern kingdom Israel in 722 BC, and a series of evil kings who have brought disaster upon Israel and Judah. We see a string of even more evil kings. In fact, the first of them we read about today in 2 Kings 21, Manasseh, is maybe worst of all. Not only did he lead the people of Judah into the sin of idolatry, worshiping other gods, household gods, the starry hosts of the sky, the zodiac, and everything else, he also brought about the practice of child sacrifice when he brought his own son to be sacrificed in the fire to the god Molech. And so we see a really terrible time in Judah, which is the trigger for God's bringing his judgment upon Judah in the form of the Babylonians. So Manasseh, we see only 18 verses in 2 Kings 21, but we're told that he reigned for 55 years. And in that 18 verses, we hear about all the evil he did in the eyes of the Lord. And it's a reminder to us that even though you may have earthly success and longevity, that doesn't mean that you have the blessing of the Lord. And that's certainly the case with Manasseh, who was this really terrible, evil king. We do see a really high point in the history of Judah, and that is in the man who became king named Josiah. Josiah was maybe the best king that Israel saw in all its history, because his entire heart, soul, mind, and strength was devoted to the Lord. And he did away with all of the idolatry, the high places, the idols that were even in the temple of the Lord. He got rid of all the practices of idolatry that had plagued Judah while he was king, and for a time brought about a time of renewal. The book of the law that had been lost for generations was found in a dusty, dark corner of the temple. It was brought out, and Josiah read through the book of the law, grieved, repented for the nation, brought about a restoration of the kingdom. And we're even told in 2 Kings 23 that for the first time in hundreds of years, the people of Judah celebrated the Passover. The Passover was supposed to be an annual reminder of God's deliverance from the hands of the Egyptians. But for a good 600 years or more, we're told in 2 Kings 23, since the time of the judges, before Saul and David and Solomon, the time of the judges, for 600 years or more, the people of Israel had not celebrated the Passover. And so for the first time in hundreds of years, many, many generations, Israel finally celebrated that annual festival that was commanded by the Lord, the Passover, and there was a time of renewal and restoration. But that even was not enough to counteract the evil being done by the leaders of Judah and Israel. And so finally, as we see in 2 Kings 24 and 25, Babylon comes and defeats the people of Judah, takes the king into exile, and the kingdom of Judah is destroyed. The temple is destroyed, the city of Jerusalem leveled, and we see the end of Judah for a time. For 50 to 70 years, the people will be in exile until the restoration that will come. For now, we see the end of another era. But even as we see the end of 1st and 2nd Kings, we're reminded of God's faithfulness. God is still the king over his people, Israel, and he will bring about a restoration. We see Josiah as a preview of the Messiah, Jesus. He restores Israel, but not completely, because they still will see exile. It's not until Jesus comes that we see a full restoration. And so Josiah just points to Jesus, but we're still longing for, at this point in the story of Israel's history at the end of 2nd Kings, longing for the full restoration that will come in Jesus.